Hello and welcome to Your Business by Design. In this presentation, I am going to be walking you through some key elements of your human design and showing you how you can begin to align them in your business to really foster, cultivate greater success, whatever success means for you. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And if you are brand new to me, my name is Amy Patee, and I've been a wellness entrepreneur for over 25 years. So I have really worn all the hats. I've done a little bit of everything that you could do in this industry, and I've got a lot of experience that I walk with that I kind of carry in my back pocket, and I'll be sharing some of that with you today. And currently, I'm a human design guide, business mentor for other conscious entrepreneurs. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher, and I'm also an intuitive energy guide. And currently on my life path, I am zeroed in on helping other female entrepreneurs step into their greatness, step into their most amplified self, and to really attract, magnetize, call in the success that they deserve. Because there are so many people in the wellness arena that are doing amazing work. They carry such magic with them. They have these amazing gifts. And I want you to be resourced. If that's you, I want you to be resourced. And I believe that the human design system shows us a blueprint for us to be able to get resourced, to be able to shine bright and share our medicine with the world in a way that is profitable and impactful and feels good, feels in alignment with how we are naturally made to operate. So I'm excited to get into this content with you. I'm going to first just introduce what human design is, and then I'm going to walk you through some key parts of the human design chart and relate those to business and how you can begin to align the two. And then I'll share some next steps with you about how you can take this information and begin to reimagine your own business. So let's get into it. What is human design? So if you're here, if you're watching this, you probably have already explored a little bit of human design, maybe. But this is a system that was essentially downloaded by a man named Ra Uru Hu in 1987, and it blends astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, the Kabbalah, and quantum physics. It blends them all together to generate your blueprint, the blueprint of you. And it's all about differentiation, meaning it shows us how we are each so unique. And when you begin to embody your human design, as you decode your chart and you begin to step into your design, you begin to really activate your truth. And it is like a vibrational signature, right? We each have this frequency that we walk with. And when you embrace it, when you embody it, you are saying yes to yourself. You are giving yourself permission to step out into the world as the creator intended for you to step out and to really to awaken to who you really are and to create a little ripple that supports the awakening across the planet. And let me tell you, there's a lot of awakening happening right now. There's a lot of people waking up. There's a lot of people stepping into their truth more and more, which I believe is why human design is on the rise right now, because this is a tool for that. It is a tool that serves a little bit like a lighthouse, guiding us back to this is who you are. It's like a mirror. When you look at your chart, it is mirroring back to you your potential. An amazing system. So when we are talking about human design and business, these are just some high level ways that the two can really come together. So one is that when we bring our human design into our business, we are shifting out of hustle mode and into harmony. Because many of the strategies that are used in business right now really do bring you into hustle mode. These strategies are saying you should do X, Y, and Z this often, right? This many times a day, whatever it is, set up your business this way and push, right? Push your business out into the world, push your business forward. And when we align with human design, we come into this place of harmony where we can understand, okay, this is how my energy actually flows optimally. What are the strategies that align with that? Or which strategies can I use that really allow me to stay in my flow, my natural energetic flow, without having to step into this hustle mode where there's a lot of pushing, a lot of forcing, a lot of doing, even when we're not inspired, even when we don't have energy, even when we feel exhausted or burnt out. So we are moving from hustle into harmony. Now, another thing that's beautiful about blending human design with business is that across the board, people are craving realness. So the online space is super noisy. The marketplace out in the world is super noisy. Everybody has whatever they need right there at the tips of their fingers. They can get whatever they want in a second, right? So what's going to be coming forth out of this time is this desire for realness, for authenticity, for connection. People are going to be more discerning than they've ever been before in the marketplace. And so if you understand who you really are at this deep level of vibration and frequency, and you begin to embrace it and step out into the world, right, in that frequency, people will feel it. People will begin to resonate with you because they feel aligned with you. And that will allow them to trust you and to buy from you or to engage with your services. So people are craving realness, and human design, again, shows us the blueprint to ourselves so that we can get back to this genuine nature that is who we are. Another thing that is wonderful about blending these two together is that aligned energy makes business easier. And I already spoke to this a little bit, but your marketing, your sales, your client attraction, they all become more natural and magnetic when you are in your zone of genius, meaning you're embracing who you are embracing your gifts, you're embracing your foundational energetic makeup, and you're working with your energy, not against it. So again, most strategies, and let's be honest, the way that the world in general is set up nowadays takes us out of our flow. It does not necessarily encourage individual alignment and flow. It encourages more of a homogenized way of doing things. But that is shifting, right? That's starting to shift all across the planet, in all industries, in all aspects of life. And so as you align your energy, right, things get easier. And we're talking about business here. So business gets easier, but so do your relationships, right? Your interactions with other people. So does just day-to-day life. It can become easier when you know how you are meant to flow with your energy. And I've noted here how misalignment really breeds burnout. And raise your hand if you feel exhausted, if you feel burnt out. Maybe you've been getting sick a lot lately. Maybe you just have no spark. You don't feel your passion to get out there and do your thing and share in a really bright and energizing way. And it's likely because you have been forced to do things in a way that is not aligned with who you really are. All of us have been to some degree, again, because we live in this world that really promotes everybody conforming and doing things in one way, when the truth is we are so different. And there is a different way that each of us are supposed to do things and live out our life. So if you are feeling burnt out, know that when you start to learn your human design and embrace it, you start to shift, you start to come back into this deeper level of alignment where your energy is nurtured, where you are nourished and your energy can begin to build back up from a place of deep congruency with yourself and the actions that you're taking out in the world. And then lastly, what I want to point out here about the beauty of human design and business coming together is that human design can really unlock sustainable success because it brings clarity, it brings flow, and it brings fulfillment. When you really step into this human design experiment, they call it, right, where you start to experiment with the different aspects of your design that you discover in your blueprint. When you begin to experiment with it, you will likely start to discover, oh my gosh, this is flowing now. Oh my gosh, this feels easy now. Oh my gosh, I cannot do that anymore. It is so out of alignment for me. And as soon as you recognize that, and as soon as you say no, doors open in this other way quickly, right? Things start to align and flow and you begin to attract versus chasing. Chasing what you think you need to bring into your life, to feel successful, to feel good. So let's unlock some of this success through our human design. And as you do, as you begin to unlock it, right, you get to step into your most powerful self and your most powerful business strategy, which is you and your energy and your frequency and your vibration. So if you are ready for more ease and flow, more magnetism, aligned abundance, authentic success, right? Human design can show you the way. So let's get into the human design part of this. All right. So if you don't already have your human design chart, you're going to want to download that. You can click the link below to grab yours through the bAmplified site. And we're going to specifically go over 4 core elements that reveal your unique path to success in business. Energy type and strategy, which basically is your energetic approach to business. I think of energy type and strategy as really being like the foundation of you. And they show you how you lead with energy, not just efforting yourself through life. It's really going to show you how your energy can lead. And like I said, it's the most essential business strategy for you to utilize if you are a conscious, soulful female entrepreneur. This is your starting point. Understanding how your energy works, your energy type and your strategy. Then we're going to explore authority. And authority is your inner decision-making compass, how you make aligned, confident choices in your business and your life. I know so many people are into their intuition, discovering their intuition, learning how their intuition works. I think of authority in human design a little bit like intuition, but it's very specific. Human design shows you specifically, right? This is where your answers come from. This is where correct answers for you and your life and your business, this is where they come from, inside of you. And if you can just learn how to tune in to this inner compass, you will be able to guide yourself through life. It's all about having this inner authority so that you can be sovereign and you can guide yourself through your life and trust where you're headed. Trust what is coming through you. You don't have to depend on an outer authority. That's part of the old paradigm that we are moving out of. We're also going to take a look at your Incarnation Cross. And your Incarnation Cross is essentially why you incarnated here on the planet in this life. It's your life purpose, and it reveals 4 core gifts that you walk with. And it shows you how those gifts really want to be expressed through your life. And in your business, this means through your offers and the way that you interact with your clients and customers. And then the last thing that we'll touch into is your profile. And your profile is like your public role. Sometimes I think of it a little bit like the brand identity for your business. And it's really how the world sees you and expects you to show up and do your thing. It's an archetypal energy that you wear and you go out into the world and you play this role essentially. So we'll dive a little deeper into that because that one's a really powerful piece of your human design to bring into your business. Okay, so if you've grabbed your mini Genius Bloom report that you can download for free via the link below, you're going to look at page 5 and 6 to find your chart and the listing that goes along with your chart, just kind of naming these different parts. So page 5 and 6 in your mini Genius Bloom report, or if you just downloaded our basic human design chart, page 1 and 2 lay this information out for you that you're seeing here on the screen. So you'll see the image. This is called your body graph in human design. And then again, just a list of the different information that sums up these core elements of your human design. So take a peek, pull out yours, and we're going to start again by just going over energy type and strategy to start. So these are your foundational together, these are your foundational business strategy that you want to lean into first and foremost before you do anything else in your business. This is what you want to drop into and navigate from. This is the place. And your energy type and strategy really show you the key to being aligned internally with your natural self and externally with the world to create flow. And when you're flowing, life is easy, right? When you flow, it's like you're kicked back in a little floaty tube and you're in flow, going with the current downstream. In a way, you're being carried by life because you are working correctly with your energy and with the universe. You're showing up as you're supposed to, and you're floating downstream. The other way of doing things, where we're not honoring our energy, can feel like we're swimming upstream against current. So there are 4 main energy types in human design, and there's actually one hybrid type as well. And you're going to want to just see, where do you fall? And you're probably going to want to do a little research. Take a little time to dive into your energy type. Google it, read up more on it. You're going to want to, there's a lot more basically to learn about your energy type than what I'm going to just share with you today. But I'll walk you through the 4 types. You'll be one of these types. Likely the people in your life are going to be other types. And we work together, right, to make the world do its thing. So the first energy type is the manifester, and this is about 9% of the population. So not a ton of manifestors if you're watching this and you're one. And you are really an initiator. You are here to get things started on the planet. And your strategy is to inform. Okay, so these are the basics that I want you to take away and sit with. But the basics for the manifester, right? You're here to initiate. You're here to start movements. You're here to bring new things to the planet, to get things started. And your strategy is to inform. Okay, part of the manifester also is that you are intended to listen deeply to yourself and to hear the urges, the impulses that are arising from within you. And when you feel aligned with an urge arising within you, like, ooh, I want to do that, right? That's your cue. That's your cue to take action, to initiate, to get started, to move some energy and begin something new on the planet. But the key is, and this is where the strategy comes in, the key to really being in flow with those inner urges and bringing them to life, initiating them on the planet, is that you need to inform. So before you take action, before you initiate, you have to tell everybody, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm thinking. This is where I'm headed. I'm going to do this. And that releases the resistance, helps get other people on board with where you're headed, what you're doing, and gets you into flow. Okay, so that's the manifester. So they get things started. Then we move into the generator type, and underneath the generator type is the manifesting generator as well. The manifesting generator is like the hybrid type. And you watching this may be one of these two types because 70% of the population are generators or manifesting generators. And this type, they are the builders. They are here to create, sustain, and master things. So the manifester gets things started, the generators and manifesting generators run with it. They have a defined sacral center, which gives them access to an abundance of life force energy to build, to create, to do. And they bring a lot of life force energy to the planet. And the key here with the generator or manifesting generator is that they need to really feel inspired by the work they're doing. They need to feel lit up. They need to feel in love with what they're doing, really. And their strategy is to respond. So generators and manifesting generators, they have this enveloping type of aura that is magnetizing life, magnetizing opportunities, people, stimuli to them all of the time. And the strategy for the generator and manifesting generator to get into flow is to lean back and respond based on excitement, based on what feels joyful. What do I feel lit up about? What do I feel passionate about? And then to say yes to those things and to move forward into that sense of flow. Okay, from the generators and manifesting generators, then we move to the projectors, about 20% of the population. And projectors are the guides. They are the advisors. They are here to help direct energy. Okay, manifestors get the ball rolling. Generators and manifesting generators take that ball and they build and they create around it. And then the projector, they let the generators and manifesting generators know how they're doing with their energy. Are you building in an optimal way? Are you expressing correctly? Are you really in your flow or are you doing things a little off? Projectors have this amazing capacity to look deeply into the other, to know the other, to understand how energy is flowing through the other, and to offer really wise guidance about that. And their strategy is to be recognized and invited. So before a projector can really advise, before a projector gives their insights, because they're always going to have insights likely about almost anything in life, but really they want to get focused and understand what their zone of genius is. But they need to have the other recognize them for what they are masterful at and to invite them to give their feedback, to give their guidance, to advise. Otherwise, it can feel almost invasive. If a projector just offers their insights without the other asking, it can almost feel invasive because the projector has a very piercing aura that pierces into the other, sees deeply into the other. And if the other is not wanting that, if the other does not want the projector to see them deeply, if the other is not seeking out guidance from the projector, but the projector offers that, they'll meet resistance. And this is all about getting into your flow. So the projector has to wait to be recognized and invited. And when they are invited, they can offer their guidance, their wisdom, their feedback, and that brings them into a sense of flow. And it feels good, right? And it leads to success, a feeling of success even for the projector. And then lastly, we have the reflectors, and that's only 1% of the population. So if you are watching this video right now, and you're a reflector, you sometimes the reflectors are referred to as like the rainbow unicorn out there. You are very unique, you're quite rare, and you are like the modern day shaman. You are here to evaluate, to see the big picture, to evaluate, to reflect back to us how we're doing. How are things going? So, manifester initiates, generators and manifesting generators build and create. Projectors advise on how the energy is working and flowing and helps people tweak. And then the reflectors kind of lean back, taking the big picture and can identify where things are working well and where things are off. The reflectors are really good at like scanning the environment and seeing precisely where there's like a blip and something needs to be tweaked. So reflectors, their strategy is very unique as well. Their strategy is to wait a lunar cycle, 28 days. And this is really about waiting a lunar cycle for big decisions, for big things in their life. And by giving themselves this time of 28 days, it allows them to take in lots of information, to gain lots of insights, and to become wise about either a choice that they're about to make or something they're going to create, a direction they want to go in their life. They need that 28-day cycle to really kind of make a full circle, assess everything, and come to a place of wisdom from what they've gathered. So they have to wait 28 days. Okay, so this was just like a high-level overview of the types, but where do you land? What type are you? And you might want to pull up the charts of the people in your life and see what type they are and see if what I shared with you here resonates. And then research your type, gather more information, and begin to experiment with just your foundational energetic signature. Like, are you here to start things and initiate things? Are you the fire starter? Are you here to build and create things? Are you aware of joy in your work, right? As a generator type. Are you a projector? Are you guiding? Are you advising in your life? Because that is a key thing for you. And are you waiting for the invitations, right? Are you a reflector? Are you in a job or role that allows you to have spaciousness and time to evaluate everything and then to offer wise counsel, wise guidance to reflect back what you've discovered? So these are all things to sit with and explore for yourself. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are the authorities. So there are 9 possible authorities in human design. You're going to have just one. And again, you can look at your chart and that listing and see what your authority is. And again, this is your inner decision-making process. It's like your inner compass, and it helps you make aligned decisions. And so I'm going to just briefly go over these authorities. And again, you're going to want to dive deeper and do your own research outside of this video. But in business, right, you want to make decisions that are aligned with you. You want to make decisions that you know you have the energy to follow through on. And authority really allows for that to take place. You're making decisions when you use your authority, you're making decisions from a body-based consciousness in a way, not your mind. Right? We've all pretty much been taught to rely on the mind and to make decisions from the mind, but the mind is not, in human design, it is not the decision maker. And I'm sure as you're watching this, you're thinking, man, I'm making all the decisions in my business from here, from my head, from my mind. So this will give you a new authority, a new way of making decisions in your business that isn't coming from the mind. And you'll have to experiment with this one for sure, because this often brings you into just a whole new way, right, of making choices. And you'll have to experiment and get comfortable with your own authority because it likely is not the norm for you. Like I said, we've all been conditioned to make decisions from up here. So if you have emotional authority, this is about 50% of the population, and it comes from the solar plexus center. in your human design body graph. And the key here for people with emotional authority is that there is no truth in the now. Making decisions on the spot in the moment is not for you. You need to wait for emotional clarity, which means whenever you're presented with an opportunity, for instance, you need to ride out what's called the emotional wave in human design, meaning you are going to feel maybe excited about that opportunity, and then you might not feel so excited about it, and then you'll feel excited again, and you ride out this wave until you come to kind of this place of emotional clarity where you feel solid, emotionally solid about that opportunity and clear about whether it's a yes or a no for you. So you need to wait for that emotional clarity before you make decisions. And I always recommend like sleep on it, right? Just tell people, hey, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And in business, avoid impulsive decisions and avoid impulsive choices because your excitement or your doubt really needs to settle before you can commit. And if you make a decision in the moment from a place of excitement, you might find out the next day that that decision falls flat and it wasn't correct for you. This is all about lining up with your authentic energy and really what you truly have energy for. Now, the next authority type is the sacral authority. So if you are a generator or a manifesting generator, you may have sacral authority, and this is about 35% of the population. And the key with sacral authority is to trust your gut. You are the opposite of the emotional authority. You get to make choices in the moment based on how your body responds, based on whether or not your gut says yes or hell yes or no. It's coming from the body. And so in your business, you can really follow that energy. What excites you? What excites you in the moment? If somebody comes up to you and throws this opportunity at you and you get like, whoo, you get kind of like filled up with energy, you get excited, maybe you like expand, maybe you lean in, maybe you even go, uh-huh, right? It's not even coming out as words, it's just coming out as a sound from your gut. That is your yes. Now, on the other hand, if somebody comes to you with an opportunity and you find yourself kind of like flatlining, pulling back, contracting, your body, things just feel flat in your body or even like repulsed, that's a no. It's coming from your body in the moment. Sacral authority. I personally have sacral authority, and this is not easy. It sounds so easy, and it can be easy about certain things, small decisions, but again, like everyone else, I have been trained to use my mind to make decisions. So I have to bypass my mind, tune into my body, and listen in the moment to really what's going on. And we all have been conditioned away from our authority. So again, this is an unwinding and this is a returning to what is true for you and how you really are supposed to make decisions. Okay, so 35% of the population. Then we have splenic authority, and this is going to be just projectors and manifestors that would have this authority. And the key with splenic authority is that you receive instant intuitive knowing. It's like a spark of, it's like a primal spark almost in the moment telling you, yes, this is correct. No, this isn't. That person's good. That person's bad. And it's like a instinctual knowing that comes through in the moment. So you also get to make decisions in the moment, just like the sacral authority. And in business, you want to trust that whisper of intuition. It's quick, it's subtle, it often does not repeat itself. And again, it may go against the mind, right? Somebody presents this amazing opportunity to you. It sounds so good. It looks so good on paper, but you just have this kind of like intuitive hit inside that says, no, danger. It may even feel like that. Danger. That's a no. Don't do that. That's not going to be good because it's more primal coming from the spleen. It's about survival, right? Has that kind of tone or flavor to it. Okay, so that's splenic authority coming from the spleen center in human design, which actually is highlighted on the slide right here in gold. Then we have ego authority. This is quite rare, and this is manifestors and projectors who would have ego authority. And the key with ego authority is making decisions based on what you believe will make you feel really good and powerful. Possibly in making those decisions, other people might see you even as a little selfish because you're just like, oh, yeah, I want that because that's going to serve me. That's going to make me feel good. That's going to make me feel powerful. So in business, it's really important if you have ego authority to align with the desires that you think are going to make you feel powerful. And selfishness is actually what may lead you to success. This is how you determine what's going to flow for you, what you're going to have energy for in your business. And what you have energy for and what's going to flow is getting you in alignment with success. So you get to be selfish and go after what you want, go after what you think will make you feel good and powerful. Ego authority. It's connected to the heart center, the will center in human design. Now, the next one is self-projected or G center authority. And this is just projectors who would have this type of authority. So it's a little bit rare. And the key with this authority is that you often have to speak out loud to hear your own truth. Clarity comes through expression. So talk your way through things, right? In business, you want to have one person or several people, maybe a mastermind where you can go and you can talk through important decisions that you need to make. And these people are going to just listen, right? They're not necessarily going to tell you what to do. They're just going to listen because you don't need them to tell you what to do. You need to listen to your own words. And when you speak the truth, when you speak into the right decision, you'll feel it. You'll feel aligned. You'll feel empowered. You'll feel confident. That's how you are designed to make correct decisions in your life and in your business. Two more to go. So mental authority, again, this is very rare. Only projectors can have mental authority. And sometimes this is also called environmental authority or no inner authority. And the key with mental authority is that you're using your environment and trusting sounding boards, trusted sounding boards to reflect your truth. So the environment that you're in, and then trusted sounding boards, which can be other people that will listen to you. You're needing them to reflect your truth back to you. This one is a little complex. But in business, if you have mental authority, it's important for you to choose spaces and choose people that really feel trustworthy to you, that feel supportive to you, that help you feel good, right? They kind of nurture you. They bring you into deeper alignment when you're in their presence because they are going to be reflecting back to you the correct decisions for you to make. Okay. So again, that one's a little complex. Keep in mind that all of this is an experiment and you need to go do your own research and take time to really contemplate these authorities, to try them on, and to start using them to see if they work for you and see what happens. Do you get into more flow when you utilize these authorities? Okay, the last authority possible is the lunar authority. And only reflectors have this. So if you remember, reflectors, their strategy was to wait 28 days. And this is really their authority as well, to wait a full lunar cycle, 28 days for clarity before making any big decisions in their life. So waiting 28 days for reflectors helps get them into their flow, helps get them into alignment with their own energy and with the world around them, and helps them come to the right decisions. So in business, patience. A lot of the business world wants instant answers, right? It wants you to make a choice about that right now, today. Give me your input right now. You as a reflector need to be doing work that gives you space, gives you time. You need to have the people that you're working with be patient with you and your process because making decisions in the moment for you is not in alignment according to human design. So give yourself the time you need to feel things out, to receive information from your environment, and to come to a place of wisdom based on the information you've gathered and to make a choice from there. Okay, so do your own research because this is a lot of information and this is a high level overview, right, on all of this that you'll want to dive deeper into. Your authority is a huge, huge thing to bring into your life. Okay, so now let's look at what is your incarnation cross. So if you remember, I said that this is the reason why you incarnated. It reveals your life purpose and four core gifts that you walk with that want to be expressed through everything you do in your life. And the incarnation cross is, I've circled it here in this chart. This is my chart actually. And it's the top four numbers on the right side and the left side here. And these are called gates in human design. And these top four numbers, they relate to the planetary activations, the sun and the earth in human design. And these are indicating four really powerful gifts that you naturally walk with, that you embody. And it's important to know that each of these gifts, each of these four gifts that again are indicated by the first number, you'll notice there's two numbers. First number, decimal point, second number, we're looking at the first number. So on this particular chart, it's 6056. The sun is 60, the earth is 56. And then on the left side, the sun is 50 and the earth is 3. Okay, so these four numbers, again, they are the four, they represent the themes of these four gifts that you walk with. These gifts hold, they're like frequency dials. So they have a low frequency that you can embody, like the shadow frequency, and then they have a high frequency that you can embody, which is like the highest potential for that gift to express as. They represent about 70% of your design is right here in your incarnation cross. 70% of your energy expresses through these placements, and they're not guaranteed. So you really have to evolve. You have to do your inner work to clear away conditioning to step into these gifts. And if you're not using your energy type, your strategy, and your authority, these four gifts will likely not come online as much. They won't be expressed in their high frequency because you need that energetic foundation to be in place for everything else to really come alive in your blueprint. So always default back to energy type, strategy, and authority. Okay. So again, these four gifts are telling you why you incarnated, right? Who you came here to be and what you came here to do. There's a lot in these four numbers. So as you learn about them and you begin to embrace and embody them, you become more magnetic. You're saying yes to who you are. You're saying yes to what you do effortlessly. It's just programmed into you, right? And the thing that is so interesting about all of this is that you carry these gifts and there are people seeking those gifts out from you. So the more you awaken the frequency of these gifts inside of you, the easier it is for other people to feel them in you, to recognize them in you, and to seek you out, right? And it's like this attraction that starts to happen. Instead of you having to chase your clients, right? Your clients find you. They resonate with you and they seek you out instead. So these four numbers, your incarnation cross, there's 192 different variations, different potential crosses that you could have. And what I recommend if you want to dive deeper into these right away is you can use Google. Again, you can Google these four numbers, human design, gate 60. gate 56. Those are my numbers up here. And see what it says. And see if if what you read resonates with you. Do you recognize it as a gift that you carry? Are you expressing this gift in your work? And if you want to have a breakdown of this even more, I would recommend buying the full Genius Bloom report, which is a 64-page personalized report, and I break down your Incarnation Cross within that report. And it's only $27, so you get the full report, and there's also an online mini course that goes with it. Yes, I am going to plug that here because it can be really helpful to help you go deeper into these placements because the sun represents certain things in your expression, like radiance, right? What kind of sunlight are you here to share? The earth represents your grounding, your stabilization, and then the gate itself is going to represent a certain theme. So there's a lot to break down. So I recommend checking out that Genius Bloom report, which is linked below if you want to go deeper. Okay. Lastly, we're going to go into profile. And profile is really powerful when it comes to business. I love working with profile. Your profile is your public role, your brand identity. It is how the world is expecting you to show up. So if you are an actor on the world stage, your profile is the costume that you put on. And your audience, and it could be your audience for your business, they are expecting you to show up in that costume. And so if you're not showing up that way, there might be some discord or uh, lack of trust with your clients and you, right? They might not be able to resonate with you as much. But when you put the costume on and you're aware of it and you're embracing it and you're stepping onto that stage, fully knowing what your public role is, people will feel that and they'll be like, yeah, she's acting that role in an amazing way, right? She's fulfilling it. And they're drawn to that. It's just like when you watch a really great movie and one of the actors is doing a beautiful performance, you often feel like really drawn in to them, right? You're naturally drawn into them. That's how your profile can work with your clients, your audience as well. So your profile number, again, you can look at your report. It'll say right there profile, but it comes from your Incarnation Cross. Actually, it's the second number after the decimal point. So in this example, 3-6 is the profile. You take the number from the right-hand side when you're looking at your chart, right-hand side, the second number after the decimal is the first number of your profile, 3 in this situation. And then on the left side, when you look at it, 6, right? And so this is a 3-6 profile chart. Your first number is your conscious personality. The second number is your unconscious design. The first number is all about your mind, how you think, what you identify with. The second number is all about your body, your physiology, your aura. And often the second number is what other people see about you more than you see about yourself. So mind, first number, body, second number. And let's break down these numbers. So look at what your profile is. What are the two numbers that make up your profile? And let's just go over those numbers so you can begin to understand what they mean. What is the costume that you are here to wear? So if you have a 1 line in your profile, it could be the first number of your profile or the second number. You are the investigator, the authority, the researcher. Your line, this particular costume, this actor wants to build deep knowledge and create a secure base that mastery then can arise out of. So you are really here to dive deep, to investigate, to become an authority, and to create a solid foundation for yourself, your life, for your clients, for your business, whatever it is. So if you have a 1 line, this is part of your archetypal profile, part of the costume that you're wearing, right? Part of your public role. If you have a 2 line, the 2 is the natural, the gifted, the hermit, right? The 2 is somebody who possesses effortless talent. And that talent may not always be recognized by the person with the two line, and they need to be called out. So other people will see how gifted you are in a particular area and they call you out. They might ask you to like share those gifts. That's kind of how the two works. The two also likes to hermit away and have their alone time. And it's actually when they are having that alone time where they come alive a little bit more, when they get to explore their passions. And that's where they discover their talents and their gifts and they begin to embody them. And then other people kind of peek in and say, "Ooh, hey, you should come out and share that. You should come out and show us what you got." So that's the two line. And again, these are just high level overviews, very quick little overviews of each of these. Three line. So if you have a three in your profile, I have a three, I'm a 3-6. So my mind, remember the first number in your profile is about your mind. My mind has this three quality to it. I'm a pioneer, an experimenter, a seeker. The threes have to get their hands dirty. They learn through life experience. They learn through trial and error processes, and they tend to be very resilient and adaptable because they've been there. They've done that, right? They get their hands dirty. They bump into life. Life bumps into them. Sometimes it can be a rough journey because it can feel like you have a lot of failures, but you're not failing, you're learning, right? And you're experimenting to figure out what doesn't work. And through that process, then you can pivot and figure out what does work at the same time. So you're a pioneer and an experimenter as a three line. As a four line, you are an influencer, a networker, an opportunist, and you are really natural at networking, connecting people, influencing people, and you often receive opportunities through your community, through the people that you're close to. Fours really need to have a heart-to-heart connection with other people to facilitate sales, to be honest. The more you can connect through genuine energy, through the heart, the easier it will be for you to sell to that person. So having a personal connection is key for you, especially in business. All right, so let's move to the five line. So if you have a five line in your profile, you are a leader, a natural leader, a hero, a messenger. You are here to really offer practical and radical solutions for universal issues. And you can speak to the masses. So the four does really well with their close network, with people who they can have like a personal connection with. And they get most of their clients and customers through these personal connections. The five is different. The five can speak to strangers. The five can speak to the masses and have their message land and sell more easily to people who are complete strangers. All right, so let's move to the six. So if you have a six in your profile, for instance, I have a six. My profile is 3-6. Six is the second line in my profile, meaning it has to do with more of the body, the physiology, the aura. I may not recognize the six line in me as much, at least at first, but then we can, cultivate awareness of our six line, or the second line, I should say. In my case, the six. So if you have a six line, you are the role model. You are the sage, the mentor, the visionary. Okay, you are here to walk the talk and be the change to inspire others. The sixth line goes through a transformational process, time over and over again throughout their life. And through these transformations, through having these kind of inner hero journeys, they really do walk the talk, right? They role model for others. So the six line is also a leader, but in a different way. The six leads by just walking their path, experiencing their transformational journey, and living it. Being a living embodiment of the transformation. Whereas the five line is a leader also, but they lead by really stepping up, standing out, and offering practical solutions for the masses. So just different ways of leading. And every line of the profile potentials can lead. right? We all are leaders in our own way. So those are the 6 lines. And then you want to take each line, the essence of each line, and you bring them together, and then they create this profile, right? The profile that comes together is our public role, again, our brand identity. And when they come together, they become something entirely different also. So they'll have the essence of both of these lines, and then they form their own entity when they come together. So research that, research your profile and see if you can begin to wear it. Think of it as a costume a little bit and step out into that. I know for me, seeing myself as a role model, I was like, "Ooh, really? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or lands." But then when I look back at my life and just think about all the situations I've been in and how people have come to me for different things, starting to make sense. I'm seeing it more and more. But again, that's my second line. So whatever your second line is, that's more connected to the body. You just are it because it's in your body. It's coming through your body. You might not see it as much about yourself. All right. So again, you want to study each line individually and then bring them together and think about what they create together for you. And that is what you can take out into the world immediately and begin to apply it in your marketing specifically, because your marketing is really how you get your business, your services, your offers out into the world. And so dress up your marketing with your profile, with the essence of your profile, and see what happens. See if people respond to you differently. And notice how you feel about embracing your profile too. Do you have any resistance to these qualities? What comes out when you imagine putting on the costume and stepping into that role for you? And sit with that, spend some time with it, because this is a really, really powerful part of the human design. Okay, so that was a lot. That's everything I wanted to introduce you to today. And I would love for you, if you feel inspired by some of what I shared, this again, it was such a high level overview. There's so much more depth to dive into with your human design, and there's so many more ways to really link your human design to your business to foster greater success. So, if you want to go deeper, if you want to explore more with me, one, again, you can get the full Genius Bloom report. It is a 64-page personalized report where I go in much more depth through your energy type, your strategy. I explain your aura, your authority. I go over your Incarnation Cross and what each of those planetary placements means for you. I talk about your profile, and I also go through all of your centers, which we didn't touch into in this presentation, but you have 9 centers and they each have a different function. And so I go over your 9 centers and how they are activated for you in your chart. So check those out or check that out, I should say, that Genius Bloom report if you want to go deeper. It's a quick way to just go to that next level, and it's only $27. And then I also have a human design and business immersion getting ready to begin on July 8th. And if you're watching this after July 8th, come to my website and see what else I have going on, because I have many more offerings coming down the line. But the human design and business immersion is a 3-month container for high caliber, soulful, conscious female entrepreneurs. It's a small group experience, high touch, community centered experience, all online. We meet once a week and we go deep. You will be transformed. You and your business will be transformed through this program. There's a lot of content and it's really fun. You're going to have breakthroughs. And in addition to the live classes, we do some group coaching sessions. There's an online portal with worksheets and different things for you to access. So it's a really beautiful way to embrace being an entrepreneur, embrace your natural energy, let go of the hustle, let go of what you've been told you should do to be successful, and to really step out of this like game of business that is playing out loudly in the world, and to come into your flow, come into alignment with your truth, and to become more amplified and visible and magnetic by being you, by really embracing your gifts and allowing your frequency, your energy to lead. All right. That's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this. Ask if you have any questions, ask below in the comments. Let me know what your profile is, or your energy type, or your authority, or your incarnation cross. I would love to know. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here and taking the leap, pivoting into this direction where frequency and energy and authenticity really, really matter. You are one of the new leaders here on the planet. All right. Hope to see you soon. Bye.